The NFC East edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMN. And with that, we start the NFC East Preview Bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs. That's what I meant to say up top, but I got so excited that I skipped words, but not the song. Yes, welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Deli Llama, the Bet Detective, Narcavelli Scumbagger, Vance, the Laddie Daddy, the man in the box. Ooh, these names are getting away from me now. We are here. It's Thursday, August 29th. Wow, August is already over. That means summer's already over. But when summer's over, that means football is here. I said football is here. Jesus, producer. Can you get on that? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Let's go. Let's look at the snow. Yeah, I can't waste more time with that. Yeah, it feels like the end of the summer is happening now. Now it's football season, and it is football season. Degenerates, celebrate. I don't want. It's finally we pretended long enough to give a shit about other things, like WNBA and baseball and all kinds of things like that. Yeah, okay, all right, that's fun. Yo, hey, Grand Slam Ohtani, way to go. Who gives a shit? Football's here. Oh, do Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese don't like each other? Whatever. You girls figure this out on your own time because we don't give a fuck anymore. There's a North Dakota state line to get down on tonight. Yeah, it's football. That's the only thing that matters. Anyway, just joking. I thought I was a parody of myself. Well, I am a parody of myself. I know that. But the whole Bottom Line Bomb, when I was going over those nicknames there, it's supposed to be a joke, making fun of people that have those like tout nicknames. But then it gets to a while where like, I don't like irony as much anymore either. When you get older, irony gets more ridiculous because you're like, is it a joke or is it just who you are now? It's what you people refer to you as, so it's not a joke. I mean, that's a lot of my life. Is this a joke or is this what I fucking do? And it's a lot of that. But doesn't matter. Like I said, none of it matters. Football season's here. The road to 10 million will begin as soon as I start editing that. Games tonight. There's a full college weekend. I mean, last week was couple good games. Their games were exciting, but only small. They just got the full board. Real games tonight. I mean, this weekend. Colorado plays tonight. I'll give that bomb out. And then, of course, we'll break down the NFC East, and that is the last of the divisions for the NFL. Then NFL starts next week, a week from today. Chiefs, Baltimore. Can you believe it?
You like that? You like that?
Yes, Kirkless Cousins, I do. I think that's what his name should be, Kirkless Cousins. Like I said, so we have NFC East preview today. I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle it because I know I'm an Eagles fan for Philly, so people are expecting a lot with Philly. And I don't even know if I'm going to talk about them tonight, although I do have them winning the division. I will be on the road. I will be in Philly for next week's show. So I'm thinking I might wait on the Eagles until next week's show. And I'll bring in a Packer guy too, because they play the Packers in Brazil for some God only knows reason. Well, NFL just wants money. But that being said, so I might save up on the Eagles. I do have a Dallas Cowboy Insider. Nick Turner will be joining me in a little bit to talk a little Cowboys. Who has everyone hates the Cowboys. No one has a Cowboy Insider. I said, you know what? I'm going to put out an olive branch. I want to bring in my friend who's a Cowboy fan. Not a lot of people have Cowboy fans for friends. Not going to lie, it was a little late in the game when I found out he was a Cowboy fan. If I knew up top, I certainly would not have been friends with him. But, that's how it goes. You can't pick and choose. Anyway, we'll talk NFC East with that and Dallas Cowboys and the rest of the division. I'll do a man in the box segment. And I might save the Eagles for next week before the Brazil game. And I will be on the road. I'm going to Chicago this weekend and then Philadelphia. And I'll do shows from there. And then I come back and then the road to 10 million begins week 1. And I think I might catch the boys in Vegas too, because I'm coming back to fly to LA. I'm like, well, I might as well just jump out of the. I won't even tell the plane to stop. You know what? It's just fly over Vegas. I'll hop out. I'll land on the Luxor and I'll slide right on down. You don't have to land this plane. You know what I mean? Anyway, a lot to talk about today. Don't forget that everything in the merch store is 10% off with promo code football. That's how much excited SGPN is excited for football. I'd recommend, of course, getting a Man in the Box shirt or a Bet Detective shirt or even a Dago Dime shirt since it's the NFC East. And Tommy DeVito still might be relevant. Oh, Dago Dimes. Plus, college football kicks off this week. Tune in to Sports Gambling Podcast and the college football experience for week 1 picks, including right after the show. I am doing the college Bombs Down Under show with Picks Dundee, where we give our dogs for the weekend. It's a very popular show. You know why it's popular? Because I said it so. That's how you can tell if it's popular. Anyway, all right, let me give out this Colorado play, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to bring in Nick Turner to talk Dallas Cowboys. But there's actual college football today. The line tonight, it's, what is it? Colorado versus North Dakota State. Coach Prime, the line's 10.5, 55.5. I got 2 plays on this. The Dalai Lama gave a bad number out before. Lucky I played. I don't know what happened with his total, but 55.5. We got to like the over here, right? Colorado, say whatever you want about them. Their offense is still top notch. Top notch? What am I, 75 years old? Anyway, I love the over here. And I don't have a strong play on the side. All I know is everyone's betting Colorado. So that's going to make me take North Dakota State. And at 10.5, I was waiting until it got up there because it was 9 all week. We'll take 10.5 North Dakota State. Bomb that. And over 55.5. I like that play better. Bomb that. 2 bombs for today's game. Tonight's game. And that's just for the degenerates watching live on the YouTube channel. Or if you're watching on X, hop on over to the YouTube so you can get into the comments so you can engage me and enrage me, as I like to say. Prime, of course, is in the news. Coach Prime, he banned a reporter. God damn, dude. One thing you don't do to sports writers and journalists and sports writers are a miserable group. They're ugly. They're writers, but they stick together. And once you ban on one of them, they usually stick together, and they love talking about how you can't do that. They love harping on it, And I get it. Some columnists, these columnists, their lives aren't that great. Deion Sanders' life is much better than that. So when Deion Sanders bans you, when all you have to do is, they get treated like shit anyway, and that's what they're complaining about. Listen, you can treat us like shit, Deion, but treat us like shit the proper way. Just don't answer our questions. Don't ban us from the building. This isn't goddamn Iraq. Do they do that in Iraq? Oh, they do it somewhere over there. But point is, they all get together with that. And it is funny because well, what happened? Why is he banning? Because Deion Sanders gets sensitive. He wants everyone to be cheerleaders. That's all college coaches, though. It's not just Deion. He just doesn't learn the ways of that yet, where you can't just fucking set the tone. But I do like how, so they say, well, what did they do wrong? Well, he said I was the Bruce Lee of BS. Which is a pretty funny nickname. It's all these nicknames, and that's what columnists do. And that's what's so funny. That's what we do. Come on, we make $27,000 a year. We live in the back of our Civic, and we write old fucking negative nicknames. Don't take that away from us, Deion. Which is kind of funny that Deion Sanders is all of a sudden against nicknames. Primetime, Coach Prime, Neon Deion. All of a sudden, he does not like nicknames. Nah, I don't like those nicknames. I like nicknames I give myself. So then you got Paul Feinbaums and everyone going back and forth about how sensitive Deion is, and I get it. And it's bad. You don't ban someone; you just fucking ignore them. To have to meet, it is funny how like usually back in the day when you do that, the rest of the media, the press would step up and be like, "Hey, answer his questions" or whatever. Like they wouldn't allow that. But everyone's cowards now. You need the any access, and that's what media has become now. No one asks hard questions. They don't want that because why would they? Because they can just do their own thing. They can do their own pod. Hell, the fucking Kelsey brothers are making $100 billion.
$700 billion and $1.3 trillion.
Good for the Kelseys. I'm glad things are going well for them. The one tried to fucking peel the microphone like a banana the first time he saw it, and they're giving him $100 million for 3 years. That's great. They're fucking. You know what? Hey, the rising tide lifts all boats. I hate that fucking saying. Everyone loves saying that now with the Caitlin Clark thing. Rising tide lifts all boats. The meaning like you make money, we make money. No, that's not how that works. Someone else makes money. I get furious. That's how that works. Fuck the Kelseys making $100 million. I want that ship to sink. Fuck the rising tide. Are you kidding me? Some goddamn meathead's gonna make $100 million? No, and I wasn't even happy for Big Cat and PFT being on Hard Knocks the other night. Isn't that great? These fucking bars. No, not happy for those Barstool guys. Asking Caleb Williams if you could kill a Bears fan to win 10 Super Bowls, would you do it? Yeah, I would. I'd kill a Bears fan. You, Big Cat. How about that? No Super Bowl needed. Just kidding. They're good guys. They're all good guys. Anyway, what was I talking about? That's the name of my show. It should be called that. What was I talking about? The Man in the Box. I should move along. That's all I need to say about Deion. It's unfortunate. Sure. It's also kind of funny in a hypocritical way. Don't take away these columnists' right to say right to write. I have the right to write, even though you type. The right to write bad nicknames, Deion. You of all people, Mr. Nickname himself. That's how bad I am at giving nicknames. I just called him Mr. Nickname. What an awful nickname that is. Anyway. All right, let me take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to bring in Nick Turner. We're going to start off the NFC East Preview edition of the Bottom Line Bombs with an actual Cowboy Insider. Absolutely disgusting. But first, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Let me get the fucking banner up because I'm a professional. There we are. Underdog Fantasy. Pick'em game gets you a chance to win 1,000 times your entry. Play fantasy football the right way with Best Ball. Best Ball Mania is live with $15 million in prizes. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. I'm going to do, I put out an ad. I'm going to use some season-long ones. I'm going to do Saquon Barkley over 300 receiving yards and maybe a little Malik Neighbors. Over 70, higher, 74.5 receptions, not over, higher. The lawyers made sure I said higher and lower, not over under. Because if you say over under, you might think of gambling. God forbid. You're listening to a show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You're listening to my show, The Bottom Line Bombs. I think you might lean towards gambling a little bit. Anyway, point is, you sign up with my promo code BOMBS to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. And we're back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host. Let me lock in. There it is. Look at that shot. We're going to lock right in. Uh-oh, it looks like I just lost my guess. What the hell happened? Oh my God, my guess was all ready, and then something just happened, and then he's gone. Now I have to stall. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. Let me go back out of the box. Let me go wide. I was not ready for that. I hope I didn't hang up on him, did I? That's so funny. I had Nick Turner in the bullpen waiting to come on, and then he got disconnected. Which is funny because he was watching me You know, it's funny. I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain, C-generates. When I have a guest on, which I've been doing, recently, all month long, I've been opening up the box to guests as we wind it down. I've been having fun with it. But I put them in the host in the green room, if you will, and they can watch your show before I bring them onto the show. So sometimes I'm doing a bit just for them. You know what I mean? Because that's the only audience I see, a visual audience, kind of like Zoom shows. During the pandemic, Zoom shows were a big thing for comedy. It was awful. So bad. You're doing reaction shots, it's delayed. I'd say this in my act, but I actually, during the pandemic, I did a Zoom show for kids. It was a gig. It was for a school, so I did a Zoom show for kids, and it was a fucking nightmare. All they did was roast me in the chat room the entire time at Zoom, and they're so good at it because they're kids. They're fast. Like, they had Boss Baby memes up there before I could even get to my punchline and shit. I'm like, what? God, open up these schools, give the teachers guns, do whatever you got to do. Anyway, point is, that's me done stalling. We're not doing Zoom shows anymore, and I got my man Nick Turner back, so let's welcome him into the stage. There he is, Nick Turner. What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. Good to see you too. Look, hold on. I got a banner for you too. Hold on.
You know, I'm just recalling a show I did for some kids. It was a high school graduation. And it was at this school, Crossroads. Do you know about this school?
Crossroads.
Yeah, it's one of these fancy ones.
Yeah, it sounds fancy. It sounds like a rehab center.
The kids are the principal, And everyone, it's all like celebrity kids and stuff.
Right.
And I was asked to do a show for their graduating class one year.
Okay.
And then my friend asked me to do it, and he asked me my rate. This is my favorite rate story.
Yeah, I love rates. I love rate stories. It's always like, well, what are you paying?
It's so insulting because guess what? They have a budget. Well, you tell me what my rate is. Do you think every time I perform I make the same amount of money?
Right.
So I was like, okay, rich kids at a graduate. It's not an easy gig, and they're rich.
No.
So, but it's in town. I said $500, and then he said, "Well, I can only pay you $100." I'm like, what number did you think I might say?
35. I was hoping you said $35.
Money? That's not why I did this, dog. No, but
30. I was hoping I could pocket the change. To be honest with you.
Anyway, it's hilarious, but I did it, because
of course you did it. Yeah, I was going to say, you still got that number? I'll do that right now.
Well, it's funny. I mean, what show in LA are you going to turn down $100 to do?
Absolutely not. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how else am I going to get the gas back home?
I went, and the show was fun. Their team had recently won the state soccer championships.
Mm-hmm.
From nothing, bootstrapped it.
Yeah.
And so the thing about this school is, like, I guess it works. Everyone's so nice, and I was expecting the kids that you found in the chat room, but what I found were the nicest, sweetest bunch of kids. And so every now and then I would make fun of someone in the audience. And then every time another student would say something positive about that person I had just made fun of. Everyone guy's like, he's our lead scorer on the soccer team. Like, oh, that's not relevant.
You jerk.
Yeah, they were a team against me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, do you like the close up for? I never know what to do with the editing, or do you want a little space? That's a little too close for us. Let me back us up.
No, I need the wide.
All right, let's do the wide. Yeah, let's get right into it. So here you are, great comedian Nick Turner, but also my Dallas Cowboy Insider. As I told us to see Jennings for, not too many people have friends that are Dallas Cowboy fans, and I found this out a little late in our friendship. I probably wouldn't have been friends with you if I knew beforehand. band, but it is okay. It isn't me leaving it on an olive branch. That's a great jacket, though. Explain your cowboy hood and his jacket up first.
Okay. Well, I was born in Fort Worth, Texas.
All right.
As you know, is pretty close to Dallas.
Great town. I do love Fort Worth. It's a great city, by the way.
They just lump it. You know that airport's in Dallas. But
Yeah.
They just throw Fort Worth on there.
Mhm.
But they don't get anything.
No.
And the Cowboys don't play in Dallas. It's a
No, they
sham.
don't. It is a sham.
I understand that. So anyway, that's how
That's good. That's fair enough. That's one of the only acceptable answers of being a Cowboy fan.
No, for sure, because I really enjoyed as a kid the winning season.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Completely understandable.
I remember one time I actually had to bring to school a picture of me in Dallas Cowboy jammies as a toddler.
Yes.
To prove, that I'm not a bandwagon kid. Because I grew up in Redskin country.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
listen, I was the same thing. I grew up obviously in Eagle country, but my parents moved down there from Connecticut. I was full on Eagles, but my mom loved Roger Staubach. Who didn't? He's Mr. All-American, and she gave me a Dallas Cowboy bathrobe when I was a little kid. No idea that I was going to get bloodied up in school, like it's babysitting, because what are you doing with that cowboy thing on? And it's like, oh, my mom got this for me. I was like, it's Roger Staubach, not knowing any better when I was 3, and that lasted one day at a sleepover, and then it got burned.
Yeah, this is a throwback that I got that my ex gave me, and that's why we broke up. I said I wanted new, but you said it was more expensive. I don't get it.
Right.
And
that's a throw. You wanted new. They wanted a throwback. Fuck that relationship. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like an '80s cowboy. That's a Danny White Cowboys. I like that.
Oh no, it's beautiful. But you didn't know I was a Cowboys fan because this is the only gear I have, and we live in a climate that doesn't allow me to wear this ridiculous jacket. This is a Michigan jacket.
Yeah. No, it's awful. It's and you shouldn't be safe. I mean, I feel everyone should be able to express themselves and live their lives, pronouns, whatever it is, however God made them, unless they're Cowboy fans, and they should live in fear and constantly.
I'm actually incredibly hot, and I'm going to take it off.
All right, unless you don't want the clip, that's fine. All right, go for it. Oh, with the shorts is a great look. This is amazing. Yeah, drape it, put it in there.
Anticipate the shorts being on screen.
This is exactly how. This is very Liberace green room right here with the Cowboys jacket, the gold jacket. Oh my God, this is a fantastic look, incredible. All right, let me.
Believe me, I want the clip, buddy.
No, you're getting a clip. Trust me. My 90% of my life is editing these fucking clips for reals that nobody gets to see. You will get a clip. That's a great look for it. That's definitely what we need to look. All right, let's get into these Dallas Cowboys. We got a little slideshow right here. Dallas football. Now, when we talk Dallas Cowboys, they are, of course, the most profitable organization in sports. They are America's team.
Hey, a little respect. All right.
And they're owned by this son of a bitch right here, Jerry Jones, of course. What now? As a Cowboy fan, do you fight that Jerry Jones is your owner? Do you like it? I mean,
no. I love the teeth from Texas. Guess what, bud? How much is your team worth?
Yeah, I know, right? And I think he's definitely slid into that because he used to be like, oh, that's his life. Before he dies, he wants to win one more Super Bowl, and now I think he's just like, you know what? I don't care as long as I make the most as long as I make the most money. That's how I win. Which is like, I get it. I mean,
yeah. Well, the ethos of the Cowboys does not work, with a successful football team because they're too concerned about image. Mm-hmm. And they're very successful at that. And obviously, don't pay your cheerleaders long enough, you get to $1 billion.
Yes, the cheerleaders, the TV show, the stadium, real quick. They were
willing to hire, a certain element. They don't want, sexual abusers and murderers on their team, which that's not how you win championships.
No. Dallas has always been the moral superior team, if I've always recalled that for sure.
Well, a couple of guys later we found out, You know, we got about Michael Irvin too late.
Michael Irvin's an angel compared to some
Isn't
of
it
those
crazy
other guys,
that he's now just a hero? You
yeah,
know?
love Michael Irvin. Now,
you know, and he's
now
got to fight that piece of shit Stephen A. Smith.
Well, I know. And now there's a story about him in a hotel, and now we initially defend Michael Irvin. Like, well, let's see the tape. I bet he was very nice about it because he's been through so many things, and they were right. He's proven innocent on that. Real quick,
people change so much.
They do, and so does he. I mean, it all depends on which bag of coke he's got. You know, sometimes it's an up, or sometimes it's personable, sometimes it's not.
He came into my H&M once.
Who did? Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin.
Now, your H&M, you owned it, worked there, or the one you shopped at all the time?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean, I own it now. I was leasing.
All right. Fair enough. That's where you got that gold jacket?
I worked in 2003 at the flagship H&M in the country.
Humble brag.
On Fifth Avenue in New York.
Yeah.
I earned $9 an hour.
Oh.
And one day, Michael Irvin came in with his buddy. I don't know if you know this guy, Deion Sanders.
Yeah, Deion. He does not like nicknames. He used to like nicknames, but now he doesn't like nicknames from Colorado reporters. But yes, I know.
He did not express that to me personally.
Okay.
But he did previously shove my head in a cake for not referring to him as Neon. We used to be very close. And they were wearing floor-length furs.
Let me hear that. Let me take off Jerry Jones to hear this story. Go ahead. Floor-length furs. Both of them?
Yes. Sunglasses. I don't know. Hats in my memory. But floor-length furs for sure. To shop at H&M where a T-shirt costs $9.
That's amazing.
You know.
Did they buy anything?
I seem to. I think I remember they bought a beanie. One of them.
Okay, makes sense.
I mean, it was bars.
Yeah, they had been a day. That had been a heck of a day in the break room of H&M on Fifth Avenue.
Buddy. Oh God, I didn't even need that $9 that day.
Nice. So generally, how are you feeling about your Cowboys this year? They were 12-5 last year. They won a division. They were humiliated by Jordan Love and the Packers, of course. The total is 10.5 wins this year. That means it's good 11. That'll be tough. 18-1 to win the Super Bowl, which, as you know, they haven't done since 1995. And there's been no back-to-back NFC East division winner since 2004, which was the Eagles. Plus 180 to win division. What's your general, before we get into how do you feel about the Cowboys coming into this year?
Well, I feel weird about your choice of stats. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they did have more. Cherry picked all the negative stuff, but yeah, no, they haven't won in a while.
But they're a chance. They're right. But, you know, it's with the Cowboys, it's always Super Bowl or bust. That's why I got to put that there, you know?
No, of course. Fuck them. But they don't do good. How do I feel about their chances this year? I feel incredible about their chances to make 1-2 weeks of the playoffs.
Well, that'd be great. That's what they do. They get to the playoffs, but then they lose spectacularly. They always have. I'll give the Cowboys this. They're very entertaining, they always lose in a very Cowboy way somehow. You know, where it's very entertaining, and they give the haters a lot of material. So I applaud them for that. They know their role. You know what I mean? Yeah. Speaking of roles, before I get past Jerry Jones, I got to talk about, because when they show him in the booth, there's nothing more tilting for me than that. I don't wish for terrorist attacks, but if there was going to have one, I wouldn't mind it in the owner's booth during a Cowboys game. That whole thing with them cheering. But this is what I think of Jerry Jones. He's like the Forrest Gump of racism. Like anytime there's an historical racist picture, like the like the Selma, you know, going on down there.
He's in the background of that Justin Trudeau blackface.
Exactly right. Like anytime there's an historical racist photo, there's a young Jerry Jones there, a middle-aged Jerry Jones throughout the years, and then there's him doing the fake knee after the Kaepernick. I mean, everything about him is just disgusting. But he's hilariously doused as oil salesman. You know, from the day he came in and fired Tom Landry. Look at him back there. I mean, God damn it. But you know,
just from the day he shot the heart out of the organization.
That's what I mean. And he's just a Texas oil man, and you gotta love it though. I like a stereotype, and whenever people complain about, oh, your owner sucks, I say, okay, well, tell me who the good billionaires are who I should like, you know,
millionaires. He would spit in your fucking face. if he heard you say that.
Exactly right. And
Yo, remember, you know that that billionaire that died on that yacht
yes.
last week? There was
hilarious. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Always brings us together when rich people die on pleasure cruises and stuff like that.
His daughter died too. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to publicly come out.
We like to skip the daughter, but yeah. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
But one criticism was that the boat was a small yacht. And now I think that the thing that all billionaires are taking away from that is you got to have a bigger yacht. And Jerry Jones is one of the biggest. And that is why they are going to the Super Bowl.
I like that. An Italian seaman crashed. I remember it's like, I guess it was like just not malpractice, but bad captainship. Italians are very bad seamen. Very underrated. Anyway.
Wow, right, buddy.
Yeah, let's move on to I can say that because I hate Italians. The point is, let's get into your Cowboys here a little bit. Mike McCarthy, your head coach, what do you feel about him? He's 53 to 1 to win Coach of the Year. People just hate him. He's one of the favorites to get fired first. I can't believe he wasn't fired after that playoff game last year. But Jerry Jones just likes a coach he can control. And did you know this? Bill Belichick is even money to be your coach next year. What would you feel about that?
That's insane because can we learn a lesson from Biden? It's not the same. You can't go back.
But Belichick looks spry. Look at him in this ring camera, leaving his 25-year-old girlfriend's house that night.
I don't know. It's just hard to get excited about Belichick in the post Tom Brady years. He just doesn't. He doesn't stink the same.
What do you think of Mike? What do you think of Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy obviously needs to be put down. You can't lose. You have to win in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah,
you can't lose always.
It's true.
Always.
And he did win a Super Bowl, but right, that was with Aaron Rodgers. He's a terrible playoff coach, and I love how he's the one who took the year off, from Green Bay, and he sold Jerry and everyone to get a job by saying, I took that year off by hunkering down in my guest house and just watching tape. So I kept up to date. Yeah, how about you fucking see your daughter's goddamn recital?
I took that year off and didn't take it off.
Right, to watch shit. Why don't you watch your daughter's recital?
I took that year off to yell at my daughter. She was being a real pig.
So I like plus 750 to get fired first, but Jerry won't do that during the regular season. Who knows? He likes to keep in the news, but
he don't like drama.
Yeah. Let's get on to all right. So let's go to Dak Prescott. What a great name, Dak, by the way. He 21 to 1 to win MVP, 26 to 1 to lead the league in interceptions. I kind of like that. Remember that one year?
You say those stats with kind of a happy tone, and it's funny to hear them.
Well, it's surprising. 26 to 1 to win most interceptions. That's middle of the pack. And that one year, he led the league in interceptions, and he only played like half the season. But he's going to be a free agent after this year.
Well, you know why he's not going to get interception king? Because, his foot's going to fall off again. He's wearing a boot around. What the fuck? That does not make me feel good.
He's got the old boot on his foot, and he's one of the first guys who's like telling Dallas almost to fuck off in free agency. I don't remember anyone really doing that. Like, he's just going to test the market, and I guess he's going to be the Raiders quarterback. I don't know, but what do you think?
That seems likely.
What are your thoughts on Dak? Should they re-sign him, or you want to let him go?
I just feel like he's got a real great Vegas name, Dak. I think he would fit in at Vegas. And I'm gonna echo what I said about Mike McCarthy. Is he's had too many chances. I mean, how many fucking years do we need to watch the same guy lose for no reason? We can get another number 12 to number 15 ranked quarterback. Way cheaper.
I know, but I don't know if he can. That's the thing. Dak is he puts up numbers, but he does fail miserably in the playoffs. But that's what I like about him. See, that's why I need Dak.
Of course,
to stay on the
you
Cowboys.
like him as an Eagles fan.
I enjoy it from him. He's just hilarious. But I tell you what, they did just sign CeeDee Lamb. That's him reacting after he got his enormous contract.
Imagine if they hadn't signed CeeDee Lamb. They wouldn't be able to play in the season. They'd be taken off the ballot every week.
$136 million. Good for CeeDee Lamb, and he is literally your only weapon you have. I think it seems like they seem a little shallow behind CeeDee Lamb. They brought back Ezekiel Elliott though. That speaking of not being able to go back, what do you think of bringing old Zeke back?
I think that I don't want anyone to talk to me about the fact that he was gone. I like that the team seems complete.
Yeah.
Also, I'm optimistic because you know how the Cowboys don't have murderers and rapists and stuff.
Right, they don't do that.
And got on the hand job murder squad for a year. Yeah. And figured out how to win a Super Bowl. And now he's back with secrets.
I like that. You know, Zeke, he got suspended for sexual assault, and it was kind of a bullshit story. I mean, he has a record of doing other things, I guess. Would have got him,
football players. But
it's funny. But he didn't cooperate with the NFL investigation because he doesn't have. You know, I'm sure his lawyer told him to do that because you don't have to. They're not the law. NFL thinks they're the law, but they're not, which is always funny. So because he didn't cooperate with their investigation, they just suspended him and well, fuck you. So he kind of got railroaded in that. And I say this because before the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl, I was in Vegas.
Because the same thing's happening to me right now, and I want to talk to you guys about it.
I was at the Win or the Encore at the poker room, and he was by Ezekiel Elliott. This is late at night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and he was by himself in a high roller playing blackjack by himself. And as I was leaving, I was a little drunk, and I'm wearing all Eagles gear. But I said, Zeke, Zeke, you got totally fucked in that whole rape thing. I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm saying this. Probably didn't like that way of language, but I stand behind that. He got totally railroaded that whole rape deal with him. It wasn't a rape deal; it was a sexual assault. But anyway, the point is, and he gave me a thumbs up. He didn't give me a thumbs up. He said, "Security,
that's
take
crazy. I don't know why you stopped drinking."
Yeah, I would do that dead sober for sure. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, he's 501. He gained a little weight, but haven't we all? When we come back a little bit, a lot of people are joking if he tried to jump in that Salvation Army bucket again, he'd get stuck this time. That's not me saying that. That's what the internet likes to say. The point is, CeeDee Lamb's gonna have another monster year. He signed a contract late. Zeke, I like to see him come. I like when teams bring back the old band. That's all,
Yeah, no, it's fun. I don't want to watch someone who's not a celebrity. Sorry. Right. I don't want to go watch a movie starring a bunch of the director's friends.
Right. Who's your son's name? Rico Dodwell? Whatever. Get the hell out of here. Jesus, we got a guy named Zeke. All right.
Yeah. No. Zeke's back and he's great. And he ate Ramondre Stevenson's lunch, and he's back to eat the Eagles' lunch next.
He literally ate his lunch. That's correct. And now he is. So the defense will be all right. Let's see. They lost. They got Mike Zimmer as a new defense coordinator. He had an eye patch because Dan Quinn went to Washington to become the coach. They got Micah Parsons, who is the favorite to be Defensive Player of the Year. He's also into the podcast world. God, I mean, why do they have to fucking just get out of our world? You guys are already superstars.
Hey, guess what? They need money too. Everybody doesn't have enough money.
Everybody doesn't have enough money. Great T-shirt slogan there. That's great. All right, here's the schedule real quick. And there's Roger Staubach, my mom's favorite player of all time, and the reason why I got beat up as a kid. We don't have to break down the schedule. Of course, there's tons of primetime games because you are the Cowboys. What do you think of that Week 1 opener at Cleveland? What's your prediction for there?
Oh, well, Cleveland is done. Here's my prediction. Cowboys win every game.
Okay.
Lose first game of the playoffs.
I like that. So 17-0.
Yes.
Which I hope would earn them the bye. That would earn them the number 1 seed bye. And then is there a way they could go undefeated and like not play another undefeated team or whatever? They some kind of tiebreaker and have a 2 seed. Anyway, all right, 17-0. 1 seed. I'm looking at that schedule. I don't see any problem there. A couple weak sisters, and they'll run the table and then lose
I don't
to
see
what?
The Chiefs in there.
And
I don't see any AFC teams in there. That's weird.
And then they lose to what? The Tampa Bay Week 1 first playoff game?
God. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That's hilarious.
We might lose that bye even.
Yeah, to tell you what, the bye, you guys, tricky bye, and I know we're joking, but you lose the bye week, but the old Cowboys, the bye week was the scariest week of the schedule because that's when your Michael Irvins and your Nate Newtons are driving coke and drugs and guns across state lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, we're the best at it.
Just looking at the
I
You got
don't
the
really
Giants
know
on
what these
Thursday.
other teams are up to.
Mm.
I don't know what Cleveland's doing right now.
Right.
It probably would take too long for you to explain it to me.
What Cleveland's doing? Well, they're hoping Deshaun Watson. They're clearing everything. Deshaun Watson cares about football or is good at football. They're not even sure if this guy's even good.
They're only concerned about football? Okay, well, that's concerning.
I know. Well, they're saying Deshaun Watson, now that he doesn't get those massages anymore, is not good at football. Kind of like when Tiger Woods, couldn't have sex with Perkins waitresses anymore, and he was bad at golf for a little bit.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if I were the coach, and I'm not, but if I were,
wait, for our listeners at home, you are not the coach, right?
I'm not currently, no. Okay. Nor have I ever been the coach.
All right.
But here's what I would do. Okay, I would set up a fake massage parlor, employed with sex workers.
Yes.
So because he has to think that they don't want it, and so that's it. You pay, you get a real good 401k going for all the ladies.
So you would do this. You would set up this massage parlor in around the Cleveland area. And just get Deshaun Watson to go there?
I think it may have to be mobile.
Yes.
Because he's going to need it in a lot of cities.
I have to give a shout out to Erin Matson, who said she wanted to open up a tanning salon in Cleveland called LeBron's, which would be a fun little thing.
That's good.
Yeah, LeBron's. That's not quite massage parlor, but it's in that same milk. I bet there's some shenanigans going on in massage parlors. You go back in tanning salons in those back rooms there.
Yeah, well, no one's ever invited me.
No one's ever invited me to your illegal sex party.
I've never seen a sex worker that wasn't like literally shaking it in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
I don't know where the good ones are, and that's really why I came here today.
All right, fair enough. So we wrapped up the schedule, 17-0 for the Cowboys, first round playoff exit. Thank you, Nick Turner, for recapping the Dallas Cowboys season for us.
Well, we didn't even get to the practice squad.
I heard you're doing some research. You listened to some pods on the way down the coast. And,
we have a giant celebrity on the practice squad now, and it's really weird.
Really? Who's a celebrity?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, Dalvin Cook. I just saw that. I saw him working out. I saw him working out with a medicine ball, which is never good. Your career is always over when you're like, whoa, look what he's doing with his medicine ball.
Look at him. He's on 2 feet.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun, Dalvin Cook. Like you said, he's a name, so let's get him out there.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Nick Turner. You do stand-up comedy. Where else can the degenerates and everyone at home see more of Nick Turner? I have your handles going on, scrolling down there. Nick Turner's at Instagram and on X.
I'm going to be in Denver, all over Denver Comedy Lounge, starting November 8th, and I got shows till November 16th.
Okay, why don't you say that one more time, but into the microphone? This time face the computer and into the microphone.
Okay, that makes sense.
Instead of looking back at the wall where your dates are on Post-it notes.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. You have too much information about my wall.
Well, I just played poker there recently, but anyway.
I will be at the Savage Henry Comedy Festival in Humboldt, where 14 people live. If any of them listen to this, come on out. I'll be in Denver from November 8th to November 16th at a ton of different places, starting at the Denver Comedy Lounge during the weekend. Come on out.
Yes, and we can follow those, I'm sure, on your socials. I love that. All right. Well, I
will not be posting about it any other place.
Can they come by your apartment and look at your wall where the Post-it notes are? That's where you post it. That's where you literally post it on your wall.
Yes, they're all on my wall. So people come to me anytime, idiots. And also, I'm sorry, I wanted to wait till this was over but I am a little too hot. I'm gonna take it up.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. He's got another gold underneath. I can't believe we almost got through this segment. You didn't do this bit. That's what pro. Oh, luckily this isn't live, so I'll edit all this up later. But fantastic! I love a physical bit, and I can't believe you took this long to get to that one. That's amazing.
On, you got to take something for the end.
2 golds and a starter jacket. That's how you come in to the box. All right, Nick Turner, appreciate it, and I'd like to say go Cowboys. For you, I'll say go Cowboys.
Hey, go Cowboys.
Yeah, that's enough. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
it didn't even feel good to me either.
So gross. Go Gold Jackets. There it is. Nick Turner with the Dallas Cowboy review. That was amazing with costume changes and sing-throughs. Anyway, I'll thank Nick Turner. Anyway, let me do a quick ad read, and then I'll come back. Let me tell you about rhythm, and then I'll come back and finish up the NFC East preview with the Washington and New York I got to get to. And like I said, now that went so long, but it was great long because I love Nick Turner. He's unbelievable. That's fine because I'm saving my Eagles for next week before the Packer game, the Brazil game. But first, let me tell you about Rhythm. Have you ever wanted to create your own sports betting model or for football? Do you even know what a sports betting model is? You just saw one. You saw one in Nick Turner. That's a sports betting model. SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money line spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model. Copy one of the top-performing models from the leaderboard. Press Build a Model for Me. Rhythm gives you predictions for every game, player, prop, and also has a myriad of stats. Research and trend analysis gives you even more betting insights. The Rhythm College football model loved Delaware State and the points last weekend. Not me. I took Hawaii because I heard a junk story that they missed their flight to Hawaii. They almost won the goddamn game. Anyway, build your own model. Get ready for week 1 college football by claiming your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're back on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the man in the box, the bet detective, the laddie daddy Narcovelli, the Deli Llama. Let me timestamp that. We're going to put the ad in later. That's how we do it. Thank you for everyone who is watching live on YouTube. If you want to hop into comments in there. DJ Bryce, the real DJ husband, says Jerry Jones, the Forrest Gump of racism. He liked that joke with a laugh. Yeah, that was an old Bottom Line Bombs bet, but he really is. Jones is like in every old racist photo. He just pops up in there. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, hit that like button, get that algorithm going towards me, and things help me. I don't even care if you do like it, lie. All you gotta do is click a thumbs up, right? Follow me on Instagram. I might as well do that. I gotta switch banners out now. At CJ Sullivan was taken, underscores in between each words, or at CJ Sullivan _ on X. But make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs. I'm a YouTube. I was just told I'm more of a YouTube channel than a podcast show. Anyway, people would tell me that. Is it because I'm visual? I don't know why. It's because I do live, because I do see generates. Anyway, all right, let's talk some NFC East. Let's start off with... how about those New York Giants? Ryan Kramer's the one who told me about that. I'm a bit more of a YouTube guy. He's a Giant fan. Let's get into those New York Giants.
How about them Giants, baby? Huh? You bet your ass. How about them Giants, baby? Huh? You bet your ass.
Yes. The New York Giants. This NFC East is low. It's top heavy. It's Cowboys and Eagles. The Eagles are, let me get out the, real quick, let me just run down the odds in the division. The Eagles are -135 to win division. Cowboys are +180. Washington and New York. New York is 14-1. Washington's 12-1. Wow. So we'll start with the Giants, who had the worst odds. I'm not too low on these Giants. I kind of like these Giants this year. Their win total is 6.5. Now, they were 6-11 last year. They were 9-7-1 the year before that, Daboll's first year as a coach, where he won Coach of the Year. He's 50-1 to win Coach of the Year this year. He will not get that because there's no way we're giving him Coach of the Year twice. I don't care what he does. He's like a Marissa Tomei when she won the Oscar. I love Marissa Tomei, but we're like, ooh, yikes. We kind of regret that one. So, because then the next year, Daboll was just awful. And the Giants were awful. But Daniel Jones got hurt. Say what you want about Daniel Jones. He was better than Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito, oh! God damn that Tommy DeVito thing. It got so annoying. Just because the way the press would talk about it. Hey, Tommy DeVito, what's forget about it mean, Tommy DeVito? Hey, Tommy DeVito, what's a chicken cutlet? Hey, does that mean it's fried or is it you gotta stir the sauce? I write for the Hackensack News, Tommy DeVito. So Daniel Jones is back for these fucking Giants. They're 55-1 to win the NFC, 151 to win the Super Bowl. That's not happening. We're not wasting money on that. But I will say their defense is fine. They got a new defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen. Jesus Christ. Sopranos, turn it down. Who's going to be a little more conservative for an old Wink Martindale who would just blitz every time? But they got good players. They signed Brian Burns from Carolina for about $500 million a year. I didn't realize he was the greatest football player of all time, but I guess he is. We learned that in Hard Knocks HR department over the summer. How about that? Or the spring. Yeah, here's Hard Knocks Giants front office. What? All right, I'll watch it. Fuck it. I'll watch any Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks driver's ed for the Vikings. That's what old Kenny Barnard said. Shout out to Kenny Barnard. Their D-line's good, though. They got Brian Burns. They got Kayvon Thibodeau. Dexter Lawrence, who's good against the run. That linebacker, Bobby Okere. Dante Banks was their first-round pick last year. Let me turn that off. I can't talk DeVito. If DeVito's in there this year, the Giants going to be in trouble. If Daniel Jones is just respectable, which he doesn't look respectable right now, that his preseason game was horrible. So much where everyone just hates it. It's amazing how much people hate Daniel Jones because he got $40 million, and that's just what quarter. And it's not Daniel Jones. I mean, it is Daniel Jones. He's not a great quarterback, and he plays for New York. But the fact that he gets money, and that's just an indictment on the NFL and what they do with quarterbacks. Like, and that's all they can answer. Like, well, what do we want to do? He's a quarterback. We have to give quarterbacks money. We know no other way. The only other way is to have them have a completely unfair rookie contract. It's your only way you can win a Super Bowl now. You get a quarterback on a rookie like San Fran with Brock Purdy. But once that expires, you're fucked. Then you're giving them $500 million. Daniel Jones makes a lot of money. He's 22-1 to win Comeback Player of the Year, 20-1 to lead the league in interceptions. And I kind of like that just because I saw enough in that game where that Houston preseason game, 5-yard pick six and all those other passes that should have been interceptions that were even worse than his actual interceptions. So take a flyer on that. That's a prop bet I like, 20-1. Daniel Jones lead league interceptions. But I think he can be respectable. I like Dable, who also lost some weight. You could tell in that Hard Knocks. I'm not going to say it's Ozempic, but I'm going to say it's cocaine. You're more like, it's so funny the way people are shaming, like they just dismiss it with Ozempic and Wetbound and all those other, drugs. Because you act like you can't do anything, you're not putting any effort into it. You get more credibility if you said you had a cocaine addiction to lose weight than if you say if you got Ozempic. Anyway, I'm just saying. It's part of the fat shit. We don't treat it as a disease. But if it's a football coach, I don't want my football coach losing weight like that. That's a sign of weakness. You should be getting bigger every year. Like Mike. Oh, my God. Like Mike McCarthy for the Cowboys. He's getting bigger and bigger. He ain't on no fucking Ozempic. He's getting some Texas barbecue. He's becoming a worse coach, sure. But he's getting fatter. And that's what you do if you're a football coach. So the Giants are win total 6.5. They're 14-1 to win a division. I don't like that. 375 to make the playoffs. That's not a bad play. Plus 375 to make the playoffs in the NFC. I actually like this division. I don't like the rest of the NFC. I think the NFC is pretty weak. So there's a chance for them. I definitely like over 6.5 wins. Just because of that defense. Now the offense, they're thin. They have Devin Singletary running back. The O-line still not good. They were 30th last year. They have Drew Lock though this year, although Drew Lock looks even more horrendous, which makes the Eagles lost to them last year even worse. But the big news is they drafted Malik Neighbors. He is 12-1 to win Rookie of the Year. His over-under, which I love, this is one of my favorite bombs I'm giving out. His season, and I don't like playing season-long win total overs because you have to deal with injuries and things like that. You have to factor that's going against you. But if he does stay healthy, even for 12 games, I don't see how this doesn't hit. 75.5 receptions for Malik Neighbors. I think he's going to have over 100 catches this year. Let's bomb that. As a matter of fact, at DraftKings, you can find a market for the lead the league in receptions. And I'm going to Chicago this week to DraftKings at Wrigley Field, and I will be betting Malik Neighbors to lead the league in receptions. Bomb that. He is the only receiver the Giants have. I mean, they have a bunch of other receivers. Your Wendell Robinsons and your Sterling Darius Slaytons. I don't think Shepard's there anymore. But a Hyatt, there's a bunch of those clowns that are all the same guy. They're all whatever. 2 and 3, 3 and 4 receivers. But Malik Neighbors is an actual number one. And I think he's a freak of an athlete. I mean, yes, he's a rookie. But he's going to be open every single play for Danny Dimes. That's Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones will have a short leash. They're sick. How about that in Hard Knocks? Where like when they were talking about drafting Malik Neighbors, but they also wanted to get a quarterback. They were deciding between that. They're like, well, all right. So I guess we're sticking with Daniel Jones, huh, guys? All right, just want to make sure because I have Malik Neighbors in my hand. I'm about to hand it in, unless anybody, just first speak now, forever hold your peace, or we're going with Daniel Jones as our quarterback. I'll take JJ McCarthy. Who gives a shit? But I'm glad I didn't because I like Malik Neighbors. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when they drafted Saquon Barkley, who they lost this year to the Philadelphia Eagles. How he might be the only guy there with talent on offense. That being said, I love Malik Neighbors over 75 catches. And I like the Giants over 6.5 wins. I'll play it. I like over 6.5 wins Giants. Because of that defense. And I think Daniel Jones is not going to be as bad as people say he is. He just has to be respectable. All right, let's move on to the Washington Commanders. Eric Turman, welcome to the chat. He says 6-11. He's out in D.C. Well, their win total 6.5, Eric. So that you and Vegas agree. They are 12-1 to win the division, 3-1 to make the playoffs, 300-1 to win the Super Bowl. Oh my God. Where's the oh my God sound? No matter, but what a bomb that would be. 100-1 to win the NFC. Now, see, that I would rather play. I would rather play Washington in a future like that to win the NFC because they're kind of a wild card. I don't think they're going over 6 wins. But with Jaden Daniels, who is 6-1 to win Rookie of the Year, I like that play, actually. The difference between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, I don't think is that much. Is the way the market is. The market has like Caleb Williams at minus 180 or plus 180. And Jaden Daniels is 6. Jaden Daniels should be 3-1. Because let's be honest, if those guys are healthy, quarterbacks are winning Rookie of the Year. That's just going to give it to. You can take your long shot. But I do like how Washington's like, fuck this. We're getting rid of Sam Howell. Wait, didn't you just draft him to be your franchise? Yeah, but that's not going to work out. We decided that. Usually you just hold on. There's no need to get rid of him. Hold on to him. You're paying the rookie contract. Yeah. We just don't even want him in the building, to be honest with you. We don't even like looking at Sam Howell. So we're going to trade him anywhere he wants to go. Seattle, whatever. We don't even care. We don't need anything back. Just get the hell out of here. So Jaden Daniels looks good. And they brought in Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator. That'll be interesting. A lot of downfield throws. He seems like he might be a fraud. But he looks like Ryan Gosling. And you happen to have Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes as quarterbacks. Or Kyler Murray, whoever the fuck he had. Terry McLaurin, the receiver, I like his overs. I think he's going to have a big year. He's like a Garrett Wilson. He's been a great receiver with no quarterback. His total is 950 yards. Help it over that. He should get 1,000 yards. Dan Quinn is the new head coach there, Washington. Sadly, they got rid of my guy, Ron Rivera. Sadly, because as an Eagle fan, I liked Ron Rivera being the coach of the Commanders because he was terrible. But he always had great quotes. He had to be told by the reporters that they got eliminated from the playoffs. He had no idea. Or that he was still eligible, whatever. He would just make up quotes about how he liked analytics. All lies. Defensively, they brought in Bobby Wagner, Emmanuel Forbes. Their defense is going to be up and down. Their defense is going to be bad, but they're going to put up points. So I like this Washington team. I don't know if they're going to go over 6.5. I'm not playing that, but I kind of like them to win the NFC, if that makes any sense. It doesn't? I don't know. Well, that's what you don't want to see, generals. Brian Robinson, offense player here. Austin Eckler, he'll be interesting. Austin Eckler. He's obviously the old Austin Eckler's kind of gone, but he might need some new life, and he doesn't have to be the number one back. So I kind of like Austin Eckler to help contribute, not for any awards or any of that. If there's any award I like, Dan Quinn is a good defensive coach, and he will help the defense, but they don't have the talent that they had. Dan Quinn doesn't have the talent that he had in Dallas as far as the D line, because he likes to pressure and then get covered. And they don't have the D-backs that Dallas had, where they had all those interceptions and shit with Diggs and whoever that other guy was who had like 20 interceptions. So that's going to be it's going to be a little tougher for Quinn, but they're heading in the right direction for once. They finally got Snyder out of there out of shame. I like when they shame billionaires to sell the team. They ride them out, but they still make $2 billion in profit. Good Lord, did he run a bad organization, though? The peeking in on cheerleaders. They had a hole in the wall, like Porky style. What? What the fuck was going on out there in Washington? Oh, boy. Anyway. So Jaden Daniels, Washington. Eric Turman says Commander 6-11. I kind of see him as at 6-11. They're good. They will be a more fun team, though. Jaden Daniels looks fun. Just the way he runs the ball. Throws the ball. He's like a Caleb Williams, but more of a video game-ish without all the pressure of having to be the savior of an organization. But he is the savior of an organization. Obviously he will, but not. They just don't have hard knocks is what I'm trying to say. Like the Bears win total is 8.5, pushing 9.5 now because of hard knocks. Washington at 6.5. I think Washington is just as good as Chicago. And that's a huge difference in the market, meaning they're both bad teams. But the hype is so much more on Caleb Williams. That's my point on that. So, we'll take the under on that. Jaden Daniels, 6-1 rookie of the year. But I think both of them have a chance. I'm not high on Dallas Cowboys. Don't let Nick Turner hear that. But I think the Dallas Cowboys 10.5. I like the under in that one. Although they win regular season games. All right, that's gonna do it for that. So I like the Eagles to win the division, the NFC East. At -130, it's not really a play for me, but I really don't think Cowboys are the only ones that could possibly take them out. But that's just the way this NFC East goes. It's they haven't won. The NFC East hasn't had a back-to-back champion since 2004, which is now 20 years ago, and it was the Eagles back then. So the Cowboys will not win it back-to-back. The Eagles should win it this year. I will get down to a deeper Eagle analysis next week before their game versus the Packers in Brazil. With my Eagle Insider. I haven't confirmed them yet, but I will definitely have an Eagles Insider for next week. So I'm saving them because the NFC East is that important. I am high on all these NFC East teams, though. That's for sure. And some good futures markets. Anyway, that's going to do it for that. Let me get to the box real quick, right? Oh, I don't know really what I want to talk about. The show's already over an hour. That's because the Turner interview went so long. My God. Like I said, we were doing characters before. There's a couple of stories I could talk about. There's the Vegas cop story. Well, I said earlier about Ezekiel Elliott. That was a true story about the rape thing. Because he just didn't follow the investigation. Because the NFL thinks they are. They think they're not an arm of the law. They think they're like a branch of the government. They wanted to do this thing with the Raiders where they want like face scans and they can call it for security and all shit. And the Vegas cops like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then the police union, they're going head to head. Las Vegas police and the NFL. And it's one of these great wars where there's no good guy. And they're both assholes. And they're both fucking ridiculous. So we like to see them eat themselves. Las Vegas Police Union head says officers will disregard NFL's new access policy. Oh, I love what I do. I will say this about cops. When they do press conferences and make statements, they're usually pretty funny. Because they start off with an official talk, an official line, they get in a statement, and then they start talking cop. Like, yeah, what do you expect? No, we're not. Fuck the NFL. The head of the Vegas Police Union said Friday officers will not abide by the new. They start off like, yeah, will not abide by these regulations because they're scumbags. The access policy for certain areas of Allegiant Stadium that the league lacked the power to enforce these rules. They talked for an hour. NFL security officials, which are all like FBI guys and shit. He said the NFL was told officers would wear wristbands only to gain entry and not subject themselves to photo identification or any kind of biometrics. An officer standing near the stadium entrance about 5 hours before kickoff was wearing a wristband. They didn't like it, but they didn't have a choice. Grandma said, we told them what we were going to do. We made it very clear we weren't going to bend on this issue. Yeah, if you know cops, they don't bend. They recognize the importance of public safety. Don't tell us about public fucking safety. We are public safety. But you ain't scanning us. They don't trust computers. One time in Chicago, I'll tell the story real quick and then I got to wrap this up. And also, thank you everyone who followed the show. Follow, subscribe, all that things. College experience after this. I'll be giving out college football picks. And I already gave you North Dakota State and the over tonight versus Colorado. But we'll be going all over all the weekend picks with Picks Dundee after this. So stay tuned for that. But I'll tell the story real quick and then I'll wrap this show up. Because this episode's already went long. Thanks to Nick Turner, who was a guest house Cowboy Insider, even though he's a Cowboy fan. Still a hilarious comic. Follow him and good friend. Yeah, I've talked about this before when I was doing SWAP in Chicago, Sheriff Work Alternative Program, which is like the chain gang stuff. I did 30 days of SWAP in Chicago, which was a lot of days because my lawyer was a poker buddy who thought the city was bluffing. They were not. When I would tell other people I got 30 days ago, damn, what you getting a hockey fight? You kill someone? I was one of the only white guys there. Point is, they caught me on some bullshit. I was doing Sheriff's Work Alternative Program. And there's a story that I've told before. We're shoveling in Chicago. It was during the polar vortex. That's basically what we would do. You'd shovel snow. It was hell. You had to get up at 5 a.m. Well, I'll tell the fast version of this. A police chase happened while we were shoveling over one of the overheads on 9094. Like, there was like 100 of us shoveling. And a car came flying down 9094. It's Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Cops are following them. A helicopter. They're coming on every exit onto the highway, more and more, funneling more. It was like Blues Brothers, like 30 cop cars chasing this one car. Guy did a fucking U-turn and started coming up the wrong way, come up behind us. Now we're like, whoa. Now we're on the cage. We're rooting for it like OJ. Go, go, go. Car went flying underneath. I'm not lying. The cops pinned him to the right lane. Guy leaned out of his window, shot out its tires. Shot at this guy's tires. It went up an off ramp, like the exit ramp right by U.S. Cellular, over a snowbank, flipped over, and was in flames. We're like, oh my God. Our PO guy's like, all right, go back to shovel. Nothing to see here. We're like, nothing to see here? We just saw a fucking Jerry Bruckheimer movie. What do you mean nothing? It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. And I even made a joke like to my other employees that were shoveling. Well, at least the cops got their man, huh? I misjudged the room. They're like, what? Fuck you, man. You didn't do shit. You don't know it because you're white, but we go through that every day. I was like, all right. Listen, I'll grant you that we have a different relationship with the cops. I get that. I have a privilege being white, that my relationship with cops is different than yours. But let's get this clear. That does not happen to you every day, what we just saw. We just saw a goddamn $500 million action budget film happen, right? We just saw a Michael Mann fucking move. That does not happen to you every day. They just closed down the busiest highway in the country on a Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock. He did something. That's not a speeding ticket. Turns out he shot a cop earlier. And I say this because the press conference afterwards, McCarthy, I think, was the commissioner of Chicago police then. Irish cop. He's doing an interview, the press conference to the reporters with the car behind him, like in flames almost. And like, what happened? You know, he's like, he got pulled over in Bucktown and he shot a cop. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, everyone knows that. You shoot at a cop, you're going to die. Or, you're going to crash or something bad's going to happen. That's what, I don't understand what these questions are about. Don't you know this? You shoot at a cop, you're going to die. And like, it's just the brazenness of him to say this. Like, he's not lying. The bad things are going to happen to you if you shoot at a cop. They make sure of that. That's why they call it death by cop, death by police officer. Anyway, in my old days of swap, I got swap tales for days, but that's one of the good ones. I told a shorter version of it. Anyway, those were good guys. I gotta look them up, or at least give them a visitation. And I say they called me on some bullshit. Here's how people always say, "What would you do together?" They called me on some bullshit. I learned that day one. When they say, "What'd you do?" You just say that and that covers all tracks. They called me on some bullshit. Then they tell the story of what they got caught for. And they're like, it wasn't bullshit at all. Sounds like they had a good reason. Anyway. All right. That's going to do it for the Man in the Box. Oh, man. What a long show because of the great Nick Turner helping us out of the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you follow us. Like I said, I'm going on the road this weekend, going to Chicago. If you're out, any degenerates out there in Chicago, come see me. I'll be at the Cubs game Monday night and DraftKings. I'll be doing a show from Chicago. I'll also be doing stand-up comedy at Comedians You Should Know at Timothy O'Toole's on Wednesday night. If you live in Chicago, come on out Wednesday night, Chicago there. I'm doing other gigs too, but that's the one I know for sure. That's a good one. That's the best one to come see me. I'll also going to Philadelphia for a little bit. And then I'll be back out in Vegas. I'm doing shows from the road, but then we'll be back in the road to 10 million starts in NFL Week 1. Here we go. All right, guys. We will be gone. See you later as soon as I find hit the button.